Hi guys, and welcome to this week's episode of The Deep Dive. Today I have got a very special guest on, Mr. Mark Bennett, who's going to be telling us a bit about himself and his brand new creation. This is something that I want to get for myself, actually. I've told the guys in the shop to reserve me one as soon as they come in, but we'll get onto that as we get into the interview. So before, as I say every single week, if you haven't done so already, hit, if it pops up for me, is it going to pop up? There it is. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. You'll be notified every time we put a video up on YouTube, and it will also notify you when we have our YouTube lives and our live launches. If you haven't joined us for a YouTube live on a Tuesday, you're missing out. And also our live launches, they're great evenings. So anyway, without further ado, let's introduce my special guest for today, Mr. Mark Bennett.
Hello.
How are you? I want to thank you before we start, because you are actually on holiday.
I am, yes. But I'll do it. Peter, come on. It's you.
You're a top man. So, Mark, firstly, thank you for joining us. This is a great product. We'll talk about it in a moment. And what I said isn't sales talk or a lie. I said to the guys when they come in, put one aside for me, because I think it's great. As a reveal, it's just phenomenal. And I love the story behind it. So we'll get into that in a moment. But tell us a bit about yourself, Mark, because, you know, for one, you've had an interesting background. For two, you own one of Britain's only magic bars. So give us a bit of the history of Mark Bennett.
So I've done this a few times now, I think. But for the people who don't know, I started back in '92 as a close-up magician, and then I heard about Aspen, Colorado, and the Tower with Doc Eason. I thought, wow, what a great idea to be a bar magician. That sounds great. So I went down that route, but I was working in management for leisure companies, and I wrote a business plan to open a magic bar, and then I opened one in Manchester called Pure Magic Bar under the Virgin Hotels brand.
Right.
They invested all the money, and then I went, well, this is really working, but I want the money, not Virgin. So I decided to remortgage my house and opened up Illusions Magic Bar, which is obviously sadly not with us anymore.
Yeah.
But in that time, I opened up Smoke and Mirrors because people would phone up Illusions, and it was a free magic bar space. You know, you go in and you watch magic for free, but people would phone up and say, "How much is it to sit front row?" And I was like, "What? You'll pay?" Okay. Yeah. So I opened up Smoke and Mirrors and opened up a little jazz style theatre, and she's in her 11th year now. So, and the number one attraction on TripAdvisor in Bristol. We have guest magicians from all over the world. My resident magicians who have come from bar magicians to now stage comedy magicians. So it's a great platform for them as well. So, that's where I am now. Yeah. So from 92 to now.
Yeah, it's a lovely venue. I've only visited there twice, I think. We were filming Greg Wilson there, so I came down with Russ Stevens, and I loved, like you said, it's that sort of old jazz bar. It's like you're walking into Ronnie Scott's, but for magic. It really is. It's got that feel about it, and it's really nice.
When I first went to Ronnie Scott's in London many moons ago, when I walked in, I had that feeling of like, oh wow, you're in something special here. You just feel it straight away without you even starting your evening. You felt this was like, oh wow, this feels special, and I wanted Smoke and Mirrors to have that same feeling. So for years, I was trying to search for those table lamps, you know, that they could go on the tables. Everyone had a little table they could sit around, so they felt comfy, but you sat next to everybody. So you were part of the experience of when you were there, and I wanted that feeling. And you're right, it is perfectly that Ronnie Scott's feel that I wanted to go for.
Yeah, it's great. And so, do you have shows every single night?
So we have, on a Monday, we have stand-up comedy, which is a new material night, where we've had John Richardson, Alan Carr, Ramesh Raghunathan, Russell Howard, all testing material at our venue, to our gong show, which we now call Beat the Wand,
Right.
from the guys from Blackpool. Well, we thought it fits. And then Thursday, we have 2 shows on a Thursday for a comedy and magic show. Friday, we have 1 show at this moment in time on a Friday, and then 2 on a Saturday. So we're running 5 shows a week of comedy and magic.
Wow. That's really, really good. And that's got to be hard work for you. Because you perform as well on there.
Yeah. So it could be sometimes with my 2 resident magicians, Daniel Chard and Richard Newman, who have been with me since almost year dot. We could be, Thursdays is a 1-man show. So what it gives the residents an opportunity to do is add in new material on their 1-man show.
Yeah.
So they do 2 35-minute sets with the same audience twice a night, so they can test something in the first show. If it doesn't kind of work, okay, let's tweak it and then put it in the next show, and it's working. And then they can move it to their weekend shows. But then they'll work on a Thursday, then they may work on a Friday and do 1 show with another magician, and then on Saturday do another 2 shows with another magician. So like Daniel Chard now has had probably more flight time than I would say any magician that I know of him working. And he's doing fantastic. And, he's just learning every single day. And he's humble about it, which is very unlike Daniel.
Yeah. Daniel's great. But, you made a really good point there as well, flight time. There's not many places now that you can get that sort of flight time, for Daniel Chard or any of your other performers, to have that chance to get up on stage and perform on a regular basis is very rare in this day and age.
And get paid for it, Peter.
Yeah.
And get paid for it. So I do pay them, and I don't pay them a horrible fee. They get paid at wow,
Yeah.
They get paid a decent fee that they can invest in themselves, buying new magic if they need to. On occasions, what I have done is I've bought them the trick that they want, and then they just slowly pay me back for every time they use it.
Yeah.
So they don't have to invest in that large amount of money for themselves.
So if I was a performer that wanted to appear there, how would I go about it? So anyone watching this, if they think they've got a good act, and they think I should be on that stage with Mark, how do they go about it?
So I need to see a full show reel, or I have on many occasions I've had magicians that have previously worked for me. Say, like, for example, Jasper Blakely, Cockoff. If somebody, Cockoff's seen their show, and he turns around and says, Mark, yeah, I've seen it. It's fantastic. You should go for this guy. I'll take that recommendation. But in all other essence, it's you send me a full show reel, and then I'll see if it fits my venue. Because I can't, because it's 30 quid a ticket.
It's a proper show.
Yeah.
And I know because earlier on you were saying people trying out new material and this, that, and the other, but you're talking about big named comedians that people would pay to see if they were just going to sit there and read the paper. They're people that go out and do it. So it's not like do you know what? I'm working on a couple of tricks. I'll go and do it at Mark's. It can't be like that. It's got to be a polished act. These are paying guests. And it's a proper show.
I've had quite a few on occasions where people say, I just need to test some material before I take it somewhere else that's better than you.
No. It don't work like that. It don't work like that.
No, I'm a very, very high quality venue, from the sound system to the way I run it, to the acts that I put on. I want those customers who have never experienced magic before. Most of them have never seen a magic show. I want them to be in that, that they're watching something that the first time they're ever going to see a magician or a comedy magician, that they're going to be absolutely blown away, and that they're just going to go, oh my God. And our reviews show that, that we can't please everybody. Obviously we can't, and one act to another act, one act might be better than the other, but at the end of the day, they get to see 2 quality acts, but they may like one more or they like them the same. So, but it is always about making sure that the guests are the ones that get the experience, and ego just stays at the door. Of course we've got egos, we all want it and everything, etc. And I think our hardest part at Smoke and Mirrors is you do your first show and they love it. I mean, love it. They're just like, you're standing ovation. They just can't believe it. They have the best thing. And then you do this exactly the same show in the next audience are like, it's all right. You're like, it's the same act. It's the same act. So, sorry, it's my dog. I'm just going to give my dog a treat. Sorry.
Yeah, you go give your dog a treat. Right. So while we wait for Mark to get back, he's actually, I can see him on the other camera now, giving his dog a lovely treat. And he's coming back. Here he is.
There we go. Sorry.
That's all right. No problem. So what is it? A 40-minute show?
So you get, it's 2 35s. So 35 minutes, interval 15 minutes, and then another 35 minutes. And then we have, if it's a double evening show, so one will start at 7 and the second show will start at 9.
That's a good evening's entertainment there.
Well, on Friday, Saturday night is obviously you have your close-up magicians as well. Or Thursday, Friday, Saturday is a close-up magician strolling. It's a little bit more harder for the guys who came from the bar side set of like people coming to you. Now they have to approach, but they're learning new ways to approach, and it's something that they're like, oh my God, I can't remember how to do this. But they're learning that, and with their material that they're using, they get to, I've always said to them, I said, look, you can always test material in the bar. Just tell them that it's something new and do it, because, stick it in the middle. Obviously, don't start with this is brand new. Can I try it? Yeah. But that really helps them so they can work on their material and get that. And interrupting people, that's one of the hardest things magicians struggle to do, is how to interrupt a couple when they're sitting there having a lovely chat and they're like, oh, I've got to do magic. No, you don't. Yeah. Let them, do something near them, let them, and you just give them all that little bits of advice that they go, so you catch their eye. Yeah. They'll catch your eye, you'll catch their eye. And then you can then, interrupt them that kind of way. So the close-up magicians have great things, but the whole aspect of always being from illusions to Smoke and Mirrors is when a customer walks in, there's entertainment from close-up magic to watching the show. And then when they're leaving, and especially on Friday and Saturday night, as you're leaving, there's a live musician at the end of the bar playing you out. So you have this from entrance entertainment to the way you leave, you get full-blown entertainment all the way through. So it's nice. So for the people in the bar who just buying a drink, they're getting free entertainment all the way through the night. They're getting close-up magic and live music, and the other people who have paid 30 quid, they're getting a massive great show, but they're also getting that extra as well of the close-up magician and the theatre host looking after them to the live music as they're leaving, or hopefully they're staying. Please stay.
So where did producing, and because I know you obviously have been creating tricks for your own acts for years, so how did you you haven't moved from one to the other, but what got you into thinking, do you know what, I'm going to release some of these?
I think what it was Matthew Wright and I were driving up to Blackpool. I can't remember, was it last year or the year before? I can't remember now. But it might have been last year. And Matthew just said, do you remember, what was that trick you were talking to me about, that Queen's nose trick you were doing? And I said, "Oh, well, the Queen's Nose, yeah." And we were discussing it. And he goes, "Oh, do you know what? I like it. I think it sounds really good." And I said, because I used to do it in the bar with a 50p piece, stick a King of Clubs on the back with a sticker, and do the Queen's Nose. And my story was the Queen's Nose with the little girl that would rub the Queen's nose and getting their wish, etc. And obviously, with the Queen's coronation coming up, we just thought, well, why don't we actually make a nice little story that works around the coronation of the Queen, and still using the Queen's nose of, rubbing it, don't pick it. But the coins are really nice, that they feel that they look like an old English penny. You've got this story, you've got the invite, you've got the tin, you've got the old cards, and it just gives people a very simple magic trick. And don't get me wrong, it's not hard at all, but the payoff, and I've never had a bad payoff with this style of routine. It's always been, it's a high and low routine. And the reason that I came up with it, when I did it, was you had the disappointment that I didn't get it on the first go. They rub the Queen's nose and then they turn over the card and it becomes the card. And they're like, oh my God, that's amazing. And then you get to repeat the same trick again, but you do it on somebody else, but the card hasn't moved, and they rub the Queen's nose. They've got a different card. They rub the Queen's nose. And they turn over the card, and the disappointment in the face of like, oh, I wanted that card to change. Like my friend's card changed. Because, well, no, underneath the coin. And then they turn it over, and they explode. They absolutely explode. And that's the simplicity of it, of just making this little bit of a journey and not worrying about it too much. You can put as much patter as you want into this routine, and it works really well. But you can change the pattern however you want. But the premise is it's simple. I always find, well, hey, I'm a simple magician, so I find simple magic works better. So,
but it's simple, but it's very impactful because you have got that double. You've got that instant repeat where their expectations are very high. Then they drop right down when you turn the card over and it hasn't changed. And then you hit them with the coin. It's beautifully structured in that way. And there's a few full performances up there, and I've chosen one to play during this video, which we'll show in a moment. And it's absolutely perfect because the card doesn't change. And then the girl herself says, oh, but I didn't say the magic word. So she's truly believing that word is what's going to change that card.
Hocus pocus.
So good. Yeah, it's so good. I'll just say as well, because obviously, the card under chip is an old idea, which this is based on. Also, I just want to say for sort of crediting purposes, a good friend of mine, you most probably know him, a guy called Sean Goodman. Many years ago, I'd say about 25 years ago, I used to sell an effect of his, and it was a coin with a sticker on the back. And it was the same poker chip routine. But, what I like about this one in particular is the coin sort of physically changes. They're holding it, as far as they're concerned, all the time. And it physically changes in their hand. And if I'm not mistaken, these coins, I've seen these coins, they're beautiful. The last coins, the Queen's Nose, didn't have the coloured card, did it?
No, they were too. I wanted to have them coloured, but they were too small. The quality wouldn't have come out. You would have just got a blob and just like a really. And they were just, if you had turned over a really nice looking coin and turned it over, it would just been a blob of bleh.
Yeah.
But what they could do is they could imprint a really nice quality Queen or the Ace of Spades, so it still looked. In hindsight, should I have gone with the Queen? But the reason I went with the Queen was because she was the Queen of our hearts. She's the Queen, etc. We wanted to keep that kind of like momentum going. Of she's worked for us for 70 years, etc. It's been fantastic. But then also as well, you got that aspect of them going,
Yeah.
looking at that coin really intently, and then telling their friends, "You've got to see this." Instead of it's visually they're having the, "Oh my God, look at this."
Yeah.
I will say, and obviously with the Queen's Nose still available from me with with giveaways. You can give away with the old Queen's Nose, so you could give that Queen away as a top table at a wedding, etc. You could give that as a souvenir, and then off you go and do an Ace of Spades somewhere else.
Yeah.
These ones, you don't want to give these away. These are really nice.
they are beautiful coins. Well, we're going to talk a bit more in depth about it in a moment. I think we should show the performance, and then we'll come back and we'll discuss it a little bit more in depth.
Cool.
Okay, let's take a look at this. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is King's Secret.
Jenna, do you know what this is?
It's a coin.
It is a coin, but it's not been released yet. It's from the King's coronation.
Oh, yeah.
That's King
Ooh,
Charles.
Yeah, that is him, his big ears.
Exactly.
Okay.
Did you know he was a magician?
Me?
No, the King Charles
Oh,
is a member of the Magic Circle, and he's got his own magic society called the Noble 52, and that's the emblem for it. And at the bottom there, you might not be able to see it in the light, but it says Corpest Deus Meum, which is the Latin for Hocus Pocus, which means it is created as it is spoken.
Okay.
Right, so you hold out your hand for me. We'll pop that on there. I've got some cards, I think. Here we go. So if you just take out any card you like. Take a look at it, show it around.
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah, pop it back in.
Did you get
Did you
it?
see it?
Yeah, just
Yep.
about.
Pop it back in.
Anywhere?
Anywhere you like.
Oh, hang on. Okay.
Yeah, remember it, that's
Might
important.
help if I know
With
Yeah.
a few of your drinks.
Yeah, exactly, you got to remember. Right, now it is possible that I would shuffle your card to the top. I'm hoping I didn't, but it's possible. Is that your card? No? Perfect.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be.
Good.
Perfect. So we'll put that there. Put that on top. All you have to do, you can see they're all different, yeah?
Yeah.
All you
Yeah.
have to do is say the name of your card and the magic words.
Can we say it out loud?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but what's the magic words?
Hocus Pocus.
Oh, sorry, okay.
King of Hearts, Hocus Pocus.
King of Hearts, Hocus
King of
Pocus.
Hearts, Hocus Pocus.
Turn it over.
No.
Oh, shut
No, I'll show you again. Put it on your
That's
hand.
magic.
I'll show you again. Turn it over. Watch this. All right. What's your name?
Katie.
Katie, just point to a card for me, Katie. Just point to one. Take it out. Take a look at it. Show it. Pop it back in. You got it? Say the name of the card.
Ace of Spades.
King of Hearts. That was yours, yeah?
That was mine. Yeah, but I didn't say the magic words.
What?
I didn't say the magic words.
Say the magic words.
Hocus Pocus, Ace of Spades.
Turn it over.
Turn this over. Shut up.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. That is
fucking
amazing. That is amazing.
How did it,
is that?
Yeah, it's really in there.
It's not even paper.
You're just fabulous.
You
aren't
are
you?
amazing. You are.
You really are.
Oh, he's lovely.
What a killer reaction for such a simple trick. I think sometimes as magicians, we lose. I mean, you wouldn't because you're performing to the public all the time. Magicians that perform to other magicians or just perform in their bedrooms, I think they miss out on the fact that simple magic, direct magic, is very powerful to a lay spectator.
I remember saying this to my magicians at Illusions, was when you had Daniel Chard when he was very underground, and he still is, he still does his very, very technical, very dark underground kind of style close up. And I always say to him, you need to get a little bit more commercial, a little bit more into the realms of a lay person. What would they kind of like to see? What reaction, and without you having to do much work on a little bit of patter. Work with a little bit of this, bringing them in. They become, friends a little bit.
Yeah.
Instead of like, look what I can do. Look how cool I am. To this Queen's Nose King Secret style of routine of this reaction. You're kidding me. There's no way. I've seen a few comments on when it was the Queen's Nose. Yeah, but they'll know that coin's been switched. What? No. Why? I demmed the Queen's Nose at Blackpool this year because I had my stand, and I was still getting the reactions from the magicians that were coming around and asking, "Oh, can you show me the Queen's Nose?" I would show them the Queen's Nose, and they would still react. And I was like, "That's you as a magician. You just reacted as a magician. Imagine the reaction you get from a layperson."
Yeah.
And they're like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. You're not here to fool magicians. You're here to give an experience to a person who's never seen a magician before. Give them a story, give them something, that they can walk away with. I think Matt would have been disappointed. I was quite surprised that he didn't say, where the girl said, "Oh, you're fantastic." He said, "No, marvelous, Matthew Wright." But this is what Matt said when he was in the car. He was, Matt's got some fantastic material he's been released over years. He's got a great name in the magic community. And when he said, "I like this, I think this is going to be a good little routine." And yeah, we made the mistake of only doing one reveal. That was us not thinking about magicians. That was just me, as I never changed that coin in my performance set. It was always the King of Clubs for me. It was always that trick, all the way through, and it never bothered me. But I would imagine other magicians would have, it's in the back of their head, they have that niggle. I need to have multiple outs. I need to have this, that. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So hence this time you've got a few.
Well, that video, I would sort of get everyone to re-watch that, because to me as a magician watching it, it's a perfect performance. It really is, and it's a perfect structure of routining as well. When you watch that, you can see, if you sort of concentrate on different areas of the video, concentrate on the way Matt Wright's presenting it, concentrate on how they're reacting to it, and their down moments and up moments, and the moment Matt switches and everything else. It's such a brilliant, simple video to watch, but it's packed with so much information for the performer.
This is the whole thing about it. It's the up and down moments that you can create when you're performing it, and without having to worry about what you need to do next. Because the down moment is where they're disappointed. That you've got that. They put that goes. They're looking at it around. You're doing your switch. You've got like, I'll tell you what. Let's do it again. Put it back down. There's no heat. There's no nothing. That card is still there. They want that card to change because they've seen it change before. They want it to change again. And they really, really do want to do it. And beautiful, I'm just saying, I didn't say the magic words. It's just like, it's just brilliant.
That's
brilliant.
Perfect. It is. It's perfect. So what I wanted to ask you as well, because I don't think it's that clear from the description. Now, there were, I'm going to say were, 2 versions of this, because one version has already sold out.
Yes.
Well, for us it has, and we can't get any more. I don't know if any more is going to be produced. The second version, I think we've still got some in stock, but not many. And I think they've actually sold out worldwide now, even though we've still got stock. So there's a collector's version or a deluxe version and a standard version. So what's the difference? Because I don't think it's that clear.
Yeah, so what you get in the standard version is you get the Noble 52 coin holder bag, and what within this bag you get a 3 of clubs, you get a 5 of hearts, and you get an ace of spades, and you also get the Charles Noble 52 coin as well. So that's what you get in the standard. They're beautiful, honestly. They just the quality, the weight as well are nice. And even where Matthew says about the hocus pocus if I could spin it, just here it does say hocus et corpus meum, which is hocus pocus in Latin, on the bottom of there, which is really quite nice. So that makes them examine the coin quite a lot more because they've really got to focus in on it. So that is the standard. And then what you get within the then when you go to the premium with the story of the Noble 52, You get the membership card for the Noble 52. You get a presentation box with that the king handed to you, or didn't. I don't know. I'm just saying. I've got one of these, but you know, that's the way it is. And then within the box, you get the special edition cards and also where the Charles coin would be here as well. So you get to present this as a nice little table piece that you open it up and you can perform your same routines as well. So it just kind of like gives it that little bit more of a royalty feel. Instead of just bringing out a bag, you get the box and you say, oh, you know, let me tell you about this. This, you know, the Noble 52. So that's what you get. So the standard, you get everything except for the limited edition pack of cards, which are there. So they all have the logo on them as well. So So you get the logo of the cards as well. And obviously the destructions inside as well. Yeah. And the presentation box. And 3 reveals. So there isn't, you know, if you want to go for that, you're still going to get the same routine and however you want. If you want to go for more of the feel of the full Noble 52 story, that you're a member of his elite Magic Club, only 52 members. I think somebody did actually send me a message and said, are there only 52 available? In the patter there is,
Well, I mean, straight away now you've explained it, you can see that the sort of standard worker, the guy that's doing the tables, doing the mix and mingles, doing the you know, walkabout showing to your friends, it's the standard version. If you're doing a parlour set, you got a little parlour act or sit down performance, got the box, and you know, it's perfect. I mean, the story's already there. You can say, look, you know, this is, I'm going to get back to this later.
I think the elite as well is quite a nice little coffee table. You know, for that magician that likes to have the you know, likes to perform when friends come around for dinner, etc. So they can still do this. They can still do this when they're walking around, and when they come home, pop the coin back into the box, and they can leave it on the table and say, well, what's this? Oh, have I not spoken about this? So you've still got that aspect of, even if you go for the limited edition box set, which is available, if it has gone, I believe it has sold out completely worldwide with from Murphy's, but we still have sets ourselves, so they can get direct from us. But we don't sell the standard. We only sell the box set. So standard would be.
Are you going to be rerunning the box set, or is that it? That was a limited edition, no more.
It's a limited edition. Yeah, that's gonna be, once it's gone, it's gone. Let's just hope Charles sticks around for a while. I'm not saying anything, but when I released the Queen's Nose, it wasn't long after.
There's going to be questions asked if anything happens. It's such a great trick, mate. It's so commercial. I love the coin thing. I'll be honest, I prefer them being printed like that. I think they just pop out, and it sort of looks like that's a real card being held in place.
It's the 2 unicorns are holding the card at a nice little angle, so it's got that little bit of a movement feel to it. The 2 unicorns are still there, you know, with the Ace of Spades as well. You know, that unicorn, the company that made them for me have done a fantastic job of what I envisaged, what I saw in my head. They've done it perfectly. A few people have commented on the outside of the coin about, I don't get the wording and that doesn't really fit with, etc. I just didn't want to get done for copyright too much. So at the end of the day, I don't think anybody's going to question your Latin on the outside of here, etc. Especially when you're talking about the Noble 52 Magic Society with a symbol in the middle and hocus pocus in Latin here.
And that's the thing to remember here as well, is that is not supposed to be a standard commemorative coin that they can compare to anything else in the world. There's
No, this is
52
this
people.
this is an exclusive magic society created by King Charles, the Noble 52, and you know, however you want to do your patter, or however you want to perform this, or how you want to do this, you are going to get the reaction as long as you go down the route of that up and down and look at that flow of the disappointment. You want that disappointment to for that last reveal, because you brought them right down. But if you didn't put the second disappointment in, you'd bring them up here.
Yeah.
You know, they'll be here, but they'll just come up to this level. But if you put that disappointment in, they come back down here. But when they go back up, the excitement goes well above the roof. You wouldn't get the reaction if you just did it in one hit.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's phenomenal, mate. It's a great trick. I highly recommend it. I'm going to get one. I think the reveal is superb, and it's one of those things that you can just carry in your pocket, carry on with your normal card tricks. Anytime you want to drop it in, you can drop it in. You know you've got a killer piece of magic. And for, you know, I think anyone watching this who then later performs it, I can guarantee you the reactions you receive will surpass anything you think you're going to receive from this trick.
Absolutely.
It's, you know, it's one of those sort of, I don't want to say getting back to basics, because it's not like a simple trick. It's a very clever trick, but it's one of those things where, as magicians, a lot of people don't understand the power of just getting someone to pick a card, doing your double, putting the card on their hand, snapping your fingers, and it changes. That, to a magician, we go, to a lay person, that's one of the strongest pieces of magic they're ever going to see in their life.
It is, you know? Absolutely. You know, most magicians open with that routine.
Yeah.
You know, because it gets you, they go, oh my God, I want to see more. Because you do that, because it is so strong. I think we as magicians, sometimes we always think that we're there to fool a magician each time, but we're not. We're there to create that entertainment. I know for a fact, like when I was a bar magician and I was doing stuff, I would actually probably do 3 tricks in my 20-minute set, because I'm chatting, I'm bantering, I'm having a bit of fun, I'm making them friends. You know, we're having a bit of fun with somebody because, you know, this and this. And then we'll do the magic and they'll come back. They'll come back about 2 days later and I'll do the same set, because they can't, they feel they got the experience, they got the entertainment, they got the, oh my God, what did he do? Oh my God, that was just, they're walking away kind of like dazed and confused. And, you know, with the King's Secret and the Queen's Nose, etc., it's one of those tricks of, they can't kind of believe it.
Yeah.
You know, if they come back, you know, to you and they say, well, can I see that coin again? Yeah, of course you can. Here you go. You know, you hand back. And they're like, no, the one with the card on. I don't know what you're talking about. You know?
Yeah, no, it's great. You've come up with another winner, mate. It's superb, and I can see a lot of magicians adding this to their act, because it is just one of those killer reveals. And for us, for people that are out there working, reveals are, you know, the things we look for. How many pick a card tricks do we do, and how many different reveals are there? And to have something quite unique like this, it's a fully blown routine, but it's just a killer reveal.
It is. It's I'd say if you can't do a double lift, give up magic for a start. But that's all you actually need is a double lift. That's all you need to do to perform this trick, and then just follow the story however you want to do it. I know, you know, a lot of people had different stories of how they did it for the Queen's Nose, etc. It's completely fine. I'm not, hey, you know, don't, you know, but just, I do say, however you are going to story it or you're going to perform it, just make sure you get that high and low flow of that magic trick. You know, I think when I did it with Matt, and he said, and we got to Blackpool and we sat down and I kind of like did the trick, and he went, oh, actually, wow. He was like, actually, yeah, hold on. that's actually, that kind of works, you know, and it's something, you know, that we as magicians, we kind of like, we think we get past that. But as you said a second ago, you said, you know, we put that card in their hand, you know, it's in a different card, you know, they turn their hand over and they turn it over and it's changed. We all do it. You know, we all do it. It's all our opener. And we kind of, as you say, you know, we kind of think, oh yeah, but you know, that's simple. It's not, but it's not. It's really, really strong. It's like how many people, you know, I didn't use invisible deck for years. I was like, oh, it's not really me. Oh my God, it's the most magical trick in the world. It just blew me away when I first I started doing it. I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. So yeah, I think going back to basics is a lot of people do need to do. I think, you know, I run a thing called the Bristol Magic Round Table, where we're just a round table, you know, it's a membership, but we all sit around and we chat and talk about, you know, work in progress. And a guy was asking how can I force a card? And I said, well, what have you got? And he had a slip cut. That was it. Not the best in the world. So we all gave different ideas of doing a slip cut. So we didn't have to completely get rid of it. And then I gave him a couple more, you know, I said, well, work on those. And then you were seeing Dan throwing a double onto the close-up mat. And, you know, throwing double cards onto the close-up mat and sticking. And he was like, oh, how'd you do that? And I went, whoa. I know they all want to jump. Everybody wants to jump. But, you know, just trust me, in simplicity and magic is where you're going to get your hits. And the more you don't have to worry about it, the better your performance will be. That's my advice.
Yeah, 100%. And I've told this story quite a few times, but it was sort of my first, not professional gig, because I wasn't paid, but it was my first proper public performance many, many years ago. And like everyone else, I was learning sleight of hand and full shuffles and everything like that. And the setup was 3 magicians, different tables, and the audience would move around, all in one room, and the audience would move around. So I performed a set. It was, I think we had 15 minutes each, if I remember rightly. And I performed a set of what I considered to be the hardest stuff I did. I did it pretty well, so it wasn't a problem. And the reactions were lovely. It was like this. During the break, I did cigarette through card, so it shows you how long ago it was. Cigarette through card, card tune, and the invisible deck, and they were pulling their hair out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that was my moment of realization. That was my moment of realization where I thought, do you know what? The other stuff's great and it's great for me to practice, but they just want that direct, quick, boom. And it's, you know,
exactly.
And the difference in reaction was from here to here. That was good. The others were up here.
Yeah. And that's what you're going to get with.
Yeah. 100%.
The King Secret or the Noble 52.
So if they want to get hold of the deluxe set, and only if we haven't got any in stock, obviously.
Yes, please do. Yeah, please buy from Alakazam first until he sells out completely.
Where would they go?
They can go to mb-magic.com. So just make sure you put the www. I don't know why, but it's saying that I haven't got a safe site, but I do have a safe site. But if you do www.mb, so Mark Bennett, MB hyphen the little dash magic.com, you'll be able to find me there, and all the bits and bobs from the drink deck.
That is amazing as well.
Where are you, Peter? Where did I put you?
I'm on Peroni.
Oh, no, that's you're on a Peroni. That's it. There we go.
I'm Peroni.
There you
go. This is a great deck of cards, and I'm honoured to be part of it. Absolutely honoured to be part of it.
It's a fantastic deck. You know, Dan Chard came up with some little routines. If you buy the deck, you get some routines to use. John Kerry gave us a couple of routines as well. So I know I didn't do it. I should have, you know, but I just love designing these labels. It's always been a fun thing for me to do. And but somebody said, well, you need some tricks with it. And I was just like, do you? No, I just think they're beautiful, you know.
They are.
So
it's a wonderful
you know,
deck.
And all the court cards as well is my favourite, which because I worked with this with James Howes. He said, should we put drinks on the court cards? So they're all holding a nice little drink.
Oh, cool. I haven't seen that before.
Yeah, so the court cards have all got a little nice little drink on them. So beer for the kings. So which I thought was a nice little touch. So yeah, it's something I've always done. I absolutely do it. I'm writing it, but I'm trying to do a Sound the Bellhop routine with this deck. I'm working on it. Once it's done, I'll just release it out to people once it's out there. It may not be for everybody, but I just thought it'd be quite fun to have this little deck of cards using as the Sound the Bellhop with the drink deck.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's just something I've been doing for years. And then I think Matt Wright said, he goes, why don't you make a deck of cards? And I was like, I've only got 12. He goes, well, crack on. You got 40 to design.
Well, I would certainly recommend everyone pick up a pack because for magicians, we're always looking for good rainbow decks. And that's a great one. And the fact is, you don't have to point out the magicians if you don't want to, if you're just using it as a rainbow deck. Because what Mark has done is literally, the images are so iconic with regards to the drink that people will automatically just presume it's a drink deck. Unless you want to point it out.
What's quite nice is if you Google image them as well, if you have your phone and you Google image them, they will come up with the brand.
Yeah.
So they're that good.
Yeah, they are. They're great. So they can pick them up from your site as well.
Yeah, and yours, I believe. I think you should.
Oh, was it? Did it go through Murphy's?
Yeah, it went through Murphy's as well. So they're available. Just the drink deck.
Brilliant.
Mark Bennett. So yeah. So support Alakazam first, please. I don't mind. That, of course, keep the bricks and mortars going. That's what I say.
You're a top man, Mark. Well, Mark, that brings us to the end of this week's deep dive. Thank you so much for taking time out of your holiday. I'm going to let you go join the kids in the pool.
Oh, no, this has been great. Can we talk more?
Mate, you've been fantastic. Thank you very much. And I look forward to your next release as well. And I look forward to getting my hand on the King's Secret, which should be in with us on Monday, I think, is the release, the 17th.
Yeah, 17th. Yeah, that's when it all goes out. So fantastic. Yeah, thank you very much. And to everyone that's already pre-ordered. So thank you so much. It really means a lot to be supported. So thank you.
Brilliant. Mark, thank you so much for joining us, mate. I'll speak to you soon.
Take care.
So, guys, that was the fantastic Mark Bennett. So don't forget to pick up your King's Secret and grab yourself one of those drinks decks. They really, really are something special. The amount of work that Mark's put into them is phenomenal. It really, really is. So thank you so much for joining us on this week's deep dive. Remember, if you haven't done so already, not sure if it's going to pop up or not. Let me try it again. There we go. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. And that will notify you every time we go live with another deep dive. And we'll see you next week. Until then, have yourself a great week. See you next week.